Leslie H. Sabo Jr. was born on the 22nd of February 1948 and died on the 10th of May 1970.
1944, my parents left Hungary because the Russian army was coming into Hungary, and they escaped to Austria.
Sabo was born in Kufstein, Austria, where his family and him had to shortly leave permanently due to the Soviet Union. Originally, they were supposed to go to Australia, but fate has taken its course.
I had the whooping coughs, and we were quarantined, and the boat to Australia sailed.
Instead of Australia, they would go to the United States.
I was 2 years old, and I was 6.
Their family would then settle down in Elwood, Pennsylvania, where Leslie would be raised.
And this became our country, and my father instilled in us the pride of being an American.
Leslie Sabo would then attend Lincoln High School in Elwood, Pennsylvania, where he would graduate in 1966. Shortly after graduating high school, Leslie Sabo would meet his future wife, Rosemary. In April 1969, Leslie was drafted into the Army, where he would train at Fort Benning, Georgia. Later that year, he would go on leave and marry Rosemary, and where they would spend their honeymoon in New York City. In November 1969, he would be deployed with his unit to Vietnam as a private first class, a member of the 506 Infantry Regiment and 101st Airborne Division. The men of the 506 would call themselves Couriees, a Cherokee word meaning stand alone.
I'm nervous about him going to Vietnam, but he seemed to accept the fact that that's what he was supposed to do.
While in Vietnam, he would write to his family.
Most of his letters was not to worry us, and that was kind of the way he was.
On May 5th, 1970, Sabo's unit would go on a mission into Cambodia. Just 5 days later, Sabo's unit would engage the largest enemy force of the Cambodian campaign, in a struggle that lasted nearly 2 days. Leslie Sabo's platoon was outnumbered and surrounded. He put himself in harm's way protecting his fellow soldiers on numerous occasions. He charged the enemy position and killed enemy fighters, attracting enemy fire to draw fire away from his comrades. He sprinted across an open field to gather ammunition, shielding a wounded comrade to protect him from a grenade blast and absorbing the brunt of the blast himself. He single-handedly attacked an enemy bunker while being fired upon with a grenade that killed the enemy and silenced his own life. Comrades witnessed Leslie put up an adrenaline-fueled fight until he took his last breath. Leslie Sabo died in Sisan, Cambodia, at a very young age of 22, and he was buried in North Sewickley Township, Beaver County, Pennsylvania. The location of Sabo's name is on panel 10W, line 15. Leslie Sabo's military decorations included the Purple Heart Medal, the Air Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal with 2 campaign stars, the Vietnam Military Merit Medal, the Vietnam Gallantry Cross with Bronze Palm, and the Vietnam Campaign Medal. His unit awards include the Vietnam Gallantry Cross Unit Citation and the Vietnam Civil Actions Unit Citation. Most importantly, Leslie H. Sabo received the Medal of Honor. He was posthumously promoted to the rank of Sergeant from Specialist, but there was a loss of records for the Medal of Honor. In 1999, these records were found and in his case was reopened. On May 16, 2012, he was issued his medal, which reads, Specialist for Leslie H. Sabo Jr. distinguished himself by conspicuous acts of gallantry and intrepidity above and beyond the call of duty, at the cost of his own life while serving as a rifleman. There would be a couple things that would happen throughout Leslie Sabo's lifetime, such as the Berlin airlift that started in 1948, the year that Leslie Sabo was born.
And by Christmas, American and British planes had made 100,000 trips.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The cost of living throughout the 1960s and 70s was like this. An annual tuition and room at a university was $400 to $1,200. Bacon costing 80 cents per pound. A car only costing $3,900. The average house costing from $16,500 to $27,900. A gallon of gas 31 cents to 35 cents.
They say that Les was one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He loved a good joke. He loved to bowl. He could have given me some tips. Rose says he was pretty good looking too. That's what I hear. He'd do anything for anybody. When Les fell in love with Rose, who couldn't wait to start a life together, he slipped the ring on her finger right there in his car while stopped at a red light. And as he headed out for Vietnam, he stopped at a shop and ordered some flowers for his mom, for Mother's Day, and for Rose for her birthday.